Let's try to make a circle wheelie tutorial. First off, gearing. I have a 52 tooth sprocket. 55 and higher is better for circles. I personally like to bump up to around 25, 27. 3 makes me go a little too fast, but also on this bike, too low makes you stall. If you're on a 600, I think you got to bump it up more to like 4. Then I kill it, then put it in gear, so I'm not too rough on my stuff. We're gonna pop up, foot in the hole, one on the peg, one on the hole. I might have to like adjust my clutch lever too, because I want this thing to engage a little more, not all the way at the bar. Yeah, there we go, that's good. I don't want to keep pinching my fingers with the brake. Seems like my idle dropped, so I guess we gotta bump that up a little bit. Foot in the hole, one on the peg. We're gonna pop up, and then what we're gonna do, when they say fall into the dip, you have to first fall into a vertical dip, and then allow some of your weight to let the bike fall left, or, well, in my case, left. It could be right for you if you like going to the right. And then when you fall into the dip, that means you're falling into that dip where you're falling left, and then as you go left, you maintain your gas. That way you can continue circling. I don't know, seems like it's squishing a lot. My front brake has a big ass air bubble. I hate that. Anyway, pop it up, fall into the dip. We're going left, kind of tight. The way we're okay. When you fall into an aggressive lean, you're gonna go a lot tighter. If your bike is a lot more straight and you're using body weight to turn, you're gonna go a lot wider, tighter and wider. If you want to get it tighter, it's good to try to like angle your bars opposite of how you're leaning. So I'm gonna turn my bars right. That's how I'm gonna turn left a little easier. And also, you get closer to the bike, you kind of like speed up. You stray out from the bike, kind of slow yourself down, because as you get closer, the bike can be higher. If you're farther out, the bike is a little more at like balance point height. So I'll just demonstrate. Pop it up. Oh shit. Alright. So we're kind of spread out from the bike, kind of centered weight, going wide. Bringing my left hand in close to my chest, so I'm getting a little closer. Just holding this balance point, catching idle, tightening it up. Also, when you're new, good habit to like look over your shoulder, you know, try to like look where you're gonna go, not look forward. Now, if I want to tighten it up, I gotta dip it and lean the bike. Once you dip it and let the bike lean, the bike kind of holds itself in the circle versus you having to hold it with your balance when it's wider. So now we're gonna dip up, we're gonna fall into a deeper vertical dip, let the bike fall left more, turn my bars counter to the right, we'll fall into a tight circle. Okay. Same idle. It's actually kind of low. It keeps like dropping itself. I might bump it up just a tiny bit. Also, this lot's really slanted, so it's making it difficult because as I go to one side, it slows itself down, and then I fall towards the slope side and it speeds it up, so it makes it inconsistent and difficult. And the way that you're gonna get your bike to kind of fall into the dip is literally like when you go up, you're kind of like almost gonna counter lean. That way you can push your bike over, because you can, if you're on the left of your bike and you want to push it left, you can't really push it left from being on the left. You have to be more on the right to push it left. So circles is kind of more like counter leaning than you would think. We're gonna pop up, I'll show you again. And I'm close to the bike, so my chest is pretty much like really close to the bars. Just catching idle. We're working the brake, but we're not like dragging it non-stop or anything. So if you're having to drag your brake like non-stop, your idle is probably too high. Also, you can't be too afraid to use your brake, because if you're too afraid to use the brake, you'll be like setting your foot down a lot trying to catch yourself. You don't really want to do that too much, but you also don't want to press it too hard and stall. So you just got to find a good medium. All right, let's talk a little bit about PSI and something you should practice probably before you even get started circling. So the way I just got out of it right there is I parked it on the 12 bar. I think it's a really good thing for you to learn how to, learn to do a foot drag first, I guess, because if you could do a foot drag, it's not going to be as scary trying to learn to park the bike on the 12 bar and step off. It's really good to be able to park the bike on the 12 bar and step off, because a lot of basically the best way to bail from a circle when things start going wrong is to just dip it right back and park it. Because what you're going to experience the most when you're trying to circle is falling into that dip and then falling out and wanting to high side out of it. And when, especially if you're going left like me, if your left foot's over here on the peg and your right foot is in the hole, your foot's kind of trapped. It's like your right foot, which you would want to be able to put towards the ground as you start falling right, is trapped in the seat a little bit. So high siding out of a circle is pretty scary. So you want to be able to confidently push it up and just park it on the 12 bar when things start going wrong, because high siding is kind of a lot more sketchy than just parking it. And I know parking it, I know like when you start getting into the circle, like maintaining the gas and staying in the dip and stuff like that, I know it's way easier said than done. Pretty much everybody knows, oh, just fall into the dip, look where you want to go, and just, you know, stay on the gas. It's so much harder than everybody, like, it's as simple. When you put it into those terms and words, it's literally just that simple. Fall into the dip. When you fall into it, stay on the gas, you'll be fine. But what nobody really talks about is, like, circles require balance, almost like when you learn to walk. When you're doing straight line stuff with speed, you don't really have to worry about your actual physical body's balance. You're more worried about the bike's balance with throttle and brake. But circles is like the first trick where you start actually like having to, like, you don't really just stay in, even though people's videos might look like they just sit in one position and they circle perfectly, and maybe they kind of do once you get really, really good at it. But there's more like micro movements and corrections than you probably think that there is. So don't think that you're doing something wrong if you're having to adjust as you're trying to do your circle. Like, you're gonna have to like balance yourself a little bit. It's just part of doing circles because you're such low speed. Now PSI, you can circle low PSI, although if you get really low PSI, your tire could debead, because it's happened to me before. I had a nail in my tire and I didn't know, and my PSI was dropping and my tire debeaded doing circles when I was like leaning real aggressively. What I kind of do for circles is I just do like 25. I know higher is probably better, so you can fall into the dip better. But the higher I go, yeah, you can fall into the dip better, but I also fall towards the right. Like, it's harder to balance side by side as I'm coming up preparing to fall into the dip. You know, if I'm going straight at all for a little bit, it's a lot easier to start falling the wrong way. So 25 is pretty good for me because, you know, I can run, like, I could do all the street tricks if I do a street ride on 25, and then I could also circle. I don't really want to have super high PSI for circles and then have to drop it way down right before a street ride so I can do street stuff. I just want to be able to do both at any time, you know? If you want to pull up to a red light and do circles in the middle of a street ride, you can't be changing your PSI. So for me, I just do like 25, 27, you know? Might depend on your tire too. I have a Michelin 2CT right now, front and back. So it's kind of an aggressive tire, so I run a little lower PSI in this tire than I would with like a GPR 300, or sometimes I run a 190. So that one I can run a little higher because it's wider, so you can run it higher and still go straight pretty well. Anyway, back to circling. I would recommend probably a sit down. Like, if you can figure out how to do it in a sit down, you can apply all that same stuff to a stand up, which I would probably definitely do it in a sit down first, which, like, just dragging your foot. If you don't know clutch work, you're either going to learn it when you're circling, or it'd be good to learn it before you start circling. Because I do a lot of clutch work in a sit down. I actually don't like high idle for sit downs. I do stock idle because, I don't know, high idle I feel like just keeps pushing me too far back. The way I explain it for like sit down is, if you are riding your bike, you could just practice it like this. Lean the bike over with your hips. Okay, what am I doing? To be able to push it left, the rest of my body has to go right. So, and then like when you think about like how my hips are now, like my right leg's kind of raised, like coming towards my rib cage, that's how you're like pushing the bike over. Once you're up in a wheelie, you do the same thing, and you counter lean your bars, and you counter lean your body. You might stay kind of center or counter leaning. Sometimes to fall into it, you'll lean onto the left until it starts falling in, and then that's when you'll change. Because if you're way in the left and the bike starts falling left, it's going to want to throw you out of it. So you might have to like get into it a little bit just to initiate the dip, but once it starts falling left, you're going to like counter lean to maintain it. So I'll show you with that. And I've been like getting to where I can kind of pick my foot up, but I'll just keep it down probably for now. Pick it up, counter lean. Oh, there's a car. Okay, I guess maybe on a big bike it's a little different. On a Grom, you definitely counter lean. Right now, I feel like I'm still kind of staying on the left side of my bike though. So my bars are turning right a little bit. Also, it's probably a good practice, like, get to where you can like come in and whip a hard 180, because, so like, yeah, you could do them really wide just to get used to catching idle and stuff like that. But if you want to start learning how to fall into the dip, start trying to come in and whip, like, come in, dip, whip a hard 180, and then you can set it down, and you can start experiencing the way you fall into that dip. And then all you do from that is just stay on the gas and turn it into a 360. Whoopsies. Bring it up, doing clutch work. Do a 360. Cool. Okay, we're gonna go back to stand-ups though. There's plenty of varieties. You can also do them in a seat stander. I'll kind of explain seat stander too, because that changes a little bit. So like for me, to maintain a good seat stander circle, I really have to have my chest like close to the windscreen. So let me see, pop it up, fall into the dip, and I'm staying like really hunched over, really kind of close to the windscreen. Can try to spread out a little bit, get a little farther back from the bike. Now the bike is lower, so it's kind of like wanting to die a little more. I'm gonna swap my feet to staggered or whatever, where it's like foot in the hole and peg. My chest is close to my hand. Had to do a little correction there because the slant of the lot, so had to like spread myself out from the bike for a second. Now I'm gonna like spread out by using body weight more, keeping the bike straighter, more pressure like in the rear seat a little bit, kind of straighten up my leg so we can go wider, like if we want to go around somebody. The pressure that's in your feet plays a big role. The amount that you're leaning off the bike, like now I'm leaning way off the left versus counter leaning. If I want to go tight as hell, I'm gonna counter lean to the right side and lean the piss out of the bike. Bars are all the way turned right. We're going hard, Bree. You want to start spreading them out, getting faster with it. Actually, this lot's pretty dirty, so I probably won't do that. Park it. I'm getting dizzy. Whew. If you ever set your bike down too, because I have a problem with this, because I don't know, it's an R7 thing, I guess. If you come down from a circle crooked and your bars aren't aligned anymore to the wheel, you can either try slamming your front brakes real hard and hopefully set your triple tree straight again, or you might just have to go up to a curb and smack your wheel into it a little bit until it straightens out. But that's a common problem for me, so I have to do that a lot, unfortunately. Oh man, what else can I say? I don't want to leave out a bunch of details, but I don't know what else to mention. Let me think. I'll be right back. I guess I'll kind of cover something I recently learned. I started doing spreader and frogger circles. I'm not great at them yet, but I can kind of do it. I actually bumped my idle up to 3. I got to have it a little higher because being up in the tank, I don't know, with more weight forward on the bike, it just kind of wants to die more. So we're going to get up. We got to do the same stuff. We got to dip far back. When this much weight is forward, we kind of got to dip a lot more aggressively. That way I can try to get my weight to shift over to the left so I can fall into that dip on the left. Then you really just got to commit to staying in the gas at that point, because otherwise you're going to fall over or you know, like have to brake and come down or whatever. Dip hard, falling left, and we high-sided out of it. Dip, lean, counter lean. Come in, left side, there we go. Kind of dropped it too low, so by dropping the front too low, we started high-siding, so we had to bail. Hard dip, lean left, there we go. Stalled it. Counter. Ow, 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 ow. Oh. Ooh. There we go. Oh, geez. I'm gonna randomly place this in the video somewhere because I don't know where it's really gonna work. But I just remembered I kind of want to try knee knocker circles. So I'm gonna give it a try real quick and just see what happens. Oh my gosh! Come on, we gotta get more than like a 180. Ah! It's so hard! Freaking... I'm gonna crash out. Bad clutch work. Fuck. Oh, jeez. Ah! Woo! First 360 from it. Let's freaking go. We're making progress now. Yes! I knocked my shoe off, but I don't even care, bro. Oh my gosh. That's so damn hard. I think I'm kind of done messing with it for the day, and I think that's gonna wrap this tutorial up. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If I did, just ask me questions in the comments if there's something I didn't cover. I reply. I see every comment, so you will get a reply. It might take a day or two or something, but I will see it, I guarantee it, and I will just answer you in the comments, unless there's like so many things that I missed that I full on gotta make a part 2, but I kind of doubt that I will. So yeah, I don't know if you enjoyed. Drop a like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. If you want to learn some other wheelie tips, check out my stunt school playlist that this is a part of. I kind of want to redo my how long can I wheelie video, but just like go back and forth in the lot for like literally forever, because I could just keep going back and forth and then just turn. But yeah, anyway. Also YouTube, private lot. Don't mess with me. Yeah. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. As soon as my circle ends, the video ends. I'm gonna do a C-stander. Well, that was terrible. Bye.